Good afternoon, Breathmatters. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. What I'm going to do is let our speakers kick off, and I am blessed. I know both of these individuals very well, and Tracy for even longer. And they're here to share the transportation structure that we have set up in Chesterfield. Now, the reason I'm saying Chesterfield, we could have invited all of the other counties, but no one has got what Chesterfield has got set up. What I would like to have is the structure in Chesterfield to be contagious with some other counties. For some reason, we have a tendency to always to be the first in a lot of things. One thing that I have vowed that I would do is to be instrumental in pushing it to other counties, the things that we have chosen to be the first at, to be of gracious help to our seniors. So with that being said, I'm gonna have Tracy and Billy come forward. Now, I'm gonna probably be asking a lot of questions because I know this stuff. So bear with me. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Joan, and it's our pleasure to be here. I am Tracy Clark. I am the mobility manager for our program in Chesterfield County. There's three rules actually to join. Has anyone heard of mobility services before? One person, that's great. So I'm the manager. Billy is our program coordinator. She and Frank answer the phones all the time. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? It's just
There you go.
Hey, there you go. Now I can be like Joan. When you get it, Bill. So mobility services has been in Chesterfield County for around 20 years. If you live in Chesterfield County, if you're 60 years and older, if you have a disability, any of those three, but you must live in Chesterfield County. Does everyone live in Chesterfield County that we're speaking to today? Excellent. Henrico. Can't help you on the Henrico. I'm sorry. Maybe one day they will copy us. Hanover copied us, right? Hanover County copied our program. So you may ride anywhere in Chesterfield County for $6 for any reason. You want to go to the store? Want to go to the doctor? Want to get your hair done? Want to get your nails done? We don't care. You can take a personal trip. You may also take a personal trip outside Chesterfield County if it's medical or work related. Most of you all still working? Most of you all not working? Good, then have fun. Like my husband and I, sometimes we're doing medical appointments more than we're doing fun things. So medical appointments, you may be taken outside the county for that. Work also.
You said $6, is that?
$6 each trip.
Each way.
Each way, and you may have up to two in the car with you. So if you want to get together a bunch of girls on a Saturday, go to the movies, you may split that $6, $2 each, go to the movies, and we'll pick you back up, take you back to one person's home. So meet somewhere, go together, and go back to the house together and have a fun Saturday. So it's a wonderful, wonderful program. And what we do a lot is mainly medical trips, especially for the ages of over 60, 65. Right now, if you're age 60, you may apply. And a few things we may have changing in the future, but at the moment right now, the age of 60, you may apply, and you only need one form of ID. So I'm going to toss this tipping mic over to Billy. She's the one who comes out, does all the presentations, answers that phone, answers your questions, and she is incredible. So if you have questions, or you have probably more to add to that than I did. Okay, here you go. I'm going to sit down and be in the audience. You don't need me standing beside you.
Good morning. With the service, you can go anywhere inside the county to do anything you want to do. When you schedule a ride, always remember the driver has a 15-minute or 30-minute window. You have a 9 o'clock pickup, the driver can get there 15 minutes before that time or 15 minutes after that time. With that being said, that way, if you do that, that way they've got time to get there and they've got a little bit of a leeway instead of having to be there exactly at 9 o'clock because, as you all know, if you come from Richmond, there's traffic. And if you schedule your rides, always schedule it. If you're going downtown,
I always tell everybody, if you have a question about how long it would take to get from point A to point B, call us. I used to be a dispatcher, I'll map it out for you and tell you, give them this amount of time, because if you're going downtown, you never know, there could be an accident at any point in time. And like Tracy was saying, you can take 2 extra people with you, they get picked up where you're getting picked up, dropped off where you're getting dropped off at. If you have a service animal, you're allowed to take a service animal with you. If you want to take your animal to the vet, as long as they're crated, they're able to go with you. Does anybody have any questions?
So it's only one drop-off point, like if I go out for dinner with a bunch of girls and we want to use mobility services, it's not taking everybody to their house in Chesterfield.
Correct.
Or
Unless you schedule it that way, but you would be the last one dropped off because they have to be in the vehicle with you if you're the one who's registered.
So they could drop off A and B and B, C last.
Not normal.
Not normally, but that can be done, but you would be the last one to be dropped off.
Got
But each stop would be $6.
Got it, that's okay, that's better than Uber.
It would.
And do they run their own cars? How do you get?
One vendor uses Uber and Lyft drivers. One, they work directly for the company, so it's kind of like Uber and Lyft, but they work directly for them, so that they're accountable for all of their trips. Unlike Uber and Lyft, they're not really regulated as much as the other company is. Our local one, Lodges, they have their own work vehicle. So they have the labels on them and everything, so you know that that's the vehicle coming to get you. And whenever you schedule a ride, never get into a vehicle unless you ask that driver, who are you here to pick up? Don't assume that they're for you, because we've had too many people get into a vehicle and it wasn't for them. And we've had them actually pick up the wrong person, and they were heading to the other person's location, and the other person's calling, where's my ride? The driver didn't even realize that the wrong person had gotten into the vehicle. So that's why I try to tell you, if you get into any type of car, whether it's labeled or not, always ask, who are you here to pick up?
And Billy, they get a text with
They
them.
do.
Tell them
And
about
you have to have a cell phone to use the service, because they call you or text you. If you don't want to be texted, they can call you to let you know we're outside. You have 5 minutes to go where, whatever you're doing to get out. So I let everybody know about that 15-minute window, so you're ready 30 minutes before your pickup time. Because I don't want anybody missing their trips. And anybody that rides the service, if you go to a medical appointment, never schedule a time for the return. Always make it a will call. What that means is once you're completely done with your medical appointment, because you never know, you can be done, doctor, I need you to get some blood drawn, so it's going to take you over that allotted time. Never set a time, make it a will call. Once you're done, you call the company, saying, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm done completely. They have up to an hour to come back to get you, but if they got anybody in that area, it can be 5 minutes. So that's why I always say, always be ready. Yes, sir.
What time of day does it operate?
5:30 to 11:30. Weekends is 7:30 to 7:30.
7:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mhm. Now, one of our vendors that uses Uber and Lyft, if somebody wants to be picked up later than 11:30, they're able to do that only because they use Uber and Lyft. The other ones, they don't. So I try to tell them, if you want to go to the later one, we have one vendor that can do it. The other two, they really don't like to do that.
How do you pay?
With a debit or credit card. Yes, ma'am.
I understand that lifelong learning will pay for their people
They
to
do.
come and go to your organization.
Yep.
Are there other groups like that?
So far, no.
That's the only one.
That's why we're going out and like coming here today to let people know, so we can spread the word, to let other places know that they can do this. Because like with lifelong learning, they got a grant to be able to pay for the people to come to lifelong learning, which is, it saves you money by doing that. But if you go anywhere else other than lifelong learning, you have to pay for it yourself, but to go there, they do pay for it.
So you said it's $6 a trip, no matter where it is?
No matter where it is. We go out to the hospital in Mechanicsville, Memorial Regional, $6 there and back. Each way, I mean, I apologize, each way.
You won't take me to the airport.
No, ma'am. We're not zoned. The county, to go to an airport, you have to be zoned, and that's, the county would have to pay extra money, so we just don't allow that. And then the company would get a fine, and then the county would get a fine. So to alleviate all of that, we just don't go there to make sure that no extra cost, because this is coming out of the taxpayers' money. We get a grant, but what's left over, the county picks up. So we want to make sure that everybody understands that, you know, this is where your money's going toward, that you've worked so hard and you've paid in all through these years with your taxes, that's where it goes to.
You don't have to be anything, you just have to be over 60.
60 or older, any type of disability or low income. The county goes 200% over the national poverty level to make sure that they can get out. Nope, one of the three. You have to be a resident of Chesterfield County to be able to use it, period, but it's one of the three that you have to qualify for.
And Billy, we did start a few years ago taking people to church on Sunday.
Yes, as long as you can go to church as long as it's inside the county.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's one church that's over, I think it's over off of Huguenot, somewhere over in that area, right over the county line. It's in Richmond. And I had a lady, she got so upset, and I was like, man, there's an address right there on the corner where that church is. Say you're going to that house. So you walk across the street. She's like, but that's against the rules. I said, who's
It
gonna
is
know?
against the rules. Yeah, it's really, now we all know.
It's church, so I was trying to help her out, tell her.
So you take people to work as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But people it's smart for people to set an account up,
Yes.
so when you need to use it, you can use it, because it takes a little bit to get that process done.
Yes, as soon as we get everything, if we have all the qualifications, we process it that day, and it takes 3 days for our vendors to get all of your information uploaded, and then you're able to use it. But I always tell people too, some people, well, I'm still able to drive. Good, I'm glad you're able to drive, but what happens if your car breaks down? If your car breaks down, this is your backup plan. Then you can always use that, and then once your car's fixed, go back to driving.
So question, if I need somebody just to pick me up from a medical appointment because all of a sudden now I cannot drive, can they pick me up in Richmond and
Yes.
bring me home?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Perfect.
They just don't sit with you.
Got it.
That's because some people they need people to go into the doctors with them. They just don't do it. They're driving, they pick you up and drop you off, that's it. We'll help you with whatever, if you get groceries, they do help. The Uber drivers don't, just so you know, Uber and Lyft, they don't get out of their vehicle, just so you know. But the other ones, they do. And if you ever need assistance to and from the vehicle, always let the vendor know. That's what they're there for. They don't know unless you tell them. If you need, or if you have somebody one of your family members that needs assistance from their door, let them know. They don't know unless you tell them.
What about wheelchairs?
Yes, ma'am.
It's in the,
Mhm. Yep, we can do within 2 hours of needing a ride, you can get a ride.
so how many people use this service?
Over 15,000.
That's a lot.
Yep, it's how we got over 15,000 signed up as of over 15,000.
Do people tip the drivers?
No,
No.
we tell people don't do it. You pay $6. We don't want, there's people that are struggling to even get on the service to ride it. So we don't want we don't want the drivers to come up, hey, the last lady tipped me, where's my tip? So we tell them no tipping at all. You pay enough. And I had one lady say, well, can I make them a cake or something? You do whatever you want to do with that, but money-wise, no ma'am. Because we want to make sure you're already paying the $6. We don't want you to struggle to have to pay anything else.
And where does that $6 go?
To the company.
To your company?
No. To the company that's picking you up, the vendor.
The vendor, okay.
Mhm. Yes.
So adding on to what you said in your answer, you gotta realize the county has set forth a budget for these people to manage the process. So the process is being handled by outside entities. So
That's what you mean by the vendors?
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's 3 vendors we contract with.
Yes.
So we only contract with them to pick you up and take you to your destination. We cover everything behind the scenes. We pay the vendors. The average ride right now that's not a wheelchair ride is $33 each way. So you pay $6, county's paying $33 to cover that trip.
Unless they're wheelchair. Wheelchair is a lot. higher.
Wheelchair is like triple that cost.
But you don't charge the person in the
No.
wheelchair?
No, the county's picking
County
that
picking
up.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome program.
Yeah.
How long has this been in this,
Since 2003. My cohort, Frank Vance, he's the one that created this. And then Hanover Dash, they copied us. So they do what we do over in Hanover. Now, the reason why Richmond and Henrico doesn't have it is GRTC. We do have some bus routes, but they don't go deep into Chesterfield. Chesterfield's 424 miles wide, so they can't get to all of that, so that's where we come in.
That's holy.
It is. Yes.
So something to realize, GRTC, their structure is they're going to go from point A to
Yes.
point B, which point B may not be even close to where you need to be. But sometimes that works for some people. They may be parking at a park and ride or whatever, and the GRTC stop might be close by. So it's not as robust and individualized as mobility services is.
This is personalized.
Absolutely.
That's why it's one-on-one. Nobody's in the vehicle with you, but you or whoever you take with you. It's not a shared ride. It used to be. We had a different contract, and that was a shared ride. That was before COVID. Once COVID hit, that went bye-bye. So now it's you and you alone. It's on demand.
And how many people did you say you take with you?
2.
So there'll be a total of 3.
Yes. We do that because the drivers, we don't want them feeling unsafe by having somebody sitting up front with them, so that's why we allotted it to only 2 for safety. And nobody under the age of 18 is allowed to be in a vehicle by themselves for their safety. We don't want, because there's no cameras in most of them, so for their safety, we don't want them in there with somebody they don't know.
But you could take a child with you.
You can, yes. And always remember that you take the car seat, they don't provide them. I had a mother one time when I was dispatching, she tried to take her 2 children without car seats, and the driver called me, what do? You don't take them. That's your license, you don't take them.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You pay online in advance?
You can.
Or do you pay the driver?
No, the driver gets nothing.
Okay.
Nope.
The house, you
You
don't pay them
call, you either call them or you do it online, either whichever you can do. Do not give the driver no money at all.
When you call the vendors, they'll ask for your credit card, and they will keep that credit card securely put away. You don't have to let them I let them keep mine when I arrive. I know and I trust, and it's secure. And so when I call up, they'll usually say, do you want that charged to ending 4605? Yes, please. I like to call. I just like to talk to someone. Sometimes I've done it online, but I'm older and I prefer hearing, I've got you over the phone and not depending on my computer.
Do you have an app?
They do have an app.
Okay, so
All
you
3 of them
can
have an
download the
app.
to your phone.
And we do have goodie bags. They have a lot more in there for you. And you have questions. Once you get home, just call the main number on there. Billy or Frank will answer, and we'll be happy to give you the information.
Anybody have anything else?
No, but it's a great service.
Thank
Good to
you.
hear that.
I love hearing that. Thank you.
Do you advertise?
No. By
Just
word
the
of mouth.
magnets.
Yeah.
The magnets are the worst.
Magnets, word of mouth. Billy will go out to any site, evening, daytime, weekend, to promote the program, because I feel like it's a lifesaver. Especially those downtown DCU trips. I mean, if you're sick and you still got to take yourself down there, it's harrowing to me to be on that track. And the older I get, the less I want to do it. So it's a pleasure to me to sit in the back and read a book.
So is VCU aware of your program that they can kind of help?
They do. We have social workers that call us if they get somebody that's a county resident, or they ask us to run the address, because sometimes it'll say Chesterfield, but it's still Richmond. So we gotta make sure that they're in the county before they use it.
And North Chesterfield is still Chesterfield?
It is.
So we go all the way down to VCU Hospital.
Yes. We go all the way to Campinsville.
And to Prince George.
Yes.
A lot of medical facilities in Prince
Yeah,
George.
medical. We don't go past 295 or 288. So we had one person that had a doctor's office that was just on the other side of 288 in Richmond. And they were so mad, and my ear was burning that day. It's just right over there. I understand that, but we have a barrier that we don't go past. You know, we have to go by rules, and they're like, you can do it.
Did you tell them to stop at the house close by and walk over?
There is no houses near that.
Just drop off by the side of the road. Here's a compass, it's that way.
All right, well, that's all I have, and I do appreciate your time, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, we'll give you the goodie bags. Give us a call. If you want to sign anybody up, you can either do it online, or we can send you a registration in the mail.
And so are you saying Henrico probably would not do this because of buses?
Exactly.
Exactly right.
They refuse to because of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is.
Maybe they'll get to there,
But,
but they're
you
not
know,
doing
you do
that.
have a board of supervisors, you can always,
Yes.
put both in their ear.
And do you know what, if any of those board members need to hear the specifics of how the program is working,
Call Frank Vance.
yes, absolutely, let me know and I can put you in contact with this group. It is a wonderful thing.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
I'm not sure if
Or
we
the
have
cards
names.
in the
We
back.
have
The
all
cards are-
sorts of goodies in here.
Okay.
We were gonna stay and listen to your next speaker, is that all right?
Oh, well,
She's
guess
already
what?
fussed at me about my hearing aid not
The,
being.
the speakers are you guys. We didn't have dual speakers. It's another little thing. That's okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I do want you to hear this.
I do.
I've got something different today. I want a good friend of mine to come forward. Kim, come forward. She really didn't want to do this, but I have to do this. So Kim, first, before I do my part, would you be so kind? Kim has been a speaker here before, but I would like for her to share what she does and why she does it.
Okay, so I am Kimberly Felder. I am the owner of Clarity Hearing. I work with the hearing impaired and I have been working 38 years. I literally just opened my practice because, in 2019, I felt the need to help people hear better and to be able to afford hearing. Just to give you a quick example, hearing aids on average are about $7,000 to $14,000 today for the top of the line hearing aids. And you can't spend more than $4,500 for everything coming out the door. So understand, hearing aids are to help you hear better. Always understand what you're purchasing. There's a lot of hearing aids out here that's going to cost a lot less. And understand that they're labeled hearing aids, but they are not hearing aids. If you can buy it over the counter, it's not a hearing aid, okay? Another thing that I want you to remember is when you very first thought that you had a hearing loss, you already had it for 9 years. So the things that you lose is the sound of your clothes, running water, your footsteps, birds. You hear some birds, but you don't hear all the birds. So there's a lot. Also, if you're wearing a hearing aid, please, minimum in your ear every day is 8 hours. If you do not stimulate 8 hours, you will lose your ability to process speech altogether. What I mean by that is you can start with 100%, and if you intermittently put your ear or put that hearing aid in and out and do not wear it every day, on a minimum of 8 hours a day, your brain will not process speech. It's a proven study. So please, anybody wearing it, minimum of 8 hours a day. If you need to take it off a couple and put them back on, if you have loved ones that's not doing it and are refusing, come see me, I can fix them. But that's it. I love to help people hear better. I'm here for any type of counseling you need, anything you need, that's what I'm here for. And I do give a lot of free services. It's about helping you.
You do the hearing test?
I do everything, honey. Everything.
So
I
if
am the
somebody's
only.
questioning their hearing ability, they could do.
Yes, come see me, let me figure it out for you and let me tell you how to do. And if you have hearing aids, and understand, if you have hearing aids, and you have hearing aids that are in warranty, I'm not selling you hearing aids. Okay? You have hearing aids, I'll fix them. I won't sell you hearing aids. Everybody should always have a 3-year repair, lost, stolen, and damaged warranty on your hearing aids. Okay? So if you don't have that, that's first and foremost we need to think about, because everybody has them. And the only thing you should ever be paying out of pocket is for a lost and damage. That's it. You shouldn't be paying for repairs, anything like that out of pocket. So it's really important to understand what you're buying, what you're paying for, and what you're getting all at the same time. And if nobody's pulling you back into the office to be seen, a minimum of every 6 months, you have to be seen. I prefer 4 months, but minimum of 6 months you need to be seen. Hearing aids have updates and fine-tuning that needs to be done.
Do you only represent certain brands?
I represent every single brand
That's
out here.
important for us to hear.
Yes, so I am not a Pacific brand person, okay? If you go to Beltone, that's a Pacific brand person. So everybody in their eyes fits in every hearing aid. But I'm gonna tell you this, and this is true. So when you go out and you're getting hearing aids, and you're saying that your person was fabulous, I love this and I love that about your hearing aids, because you're grading your hearing aids at this point. You went in and oh gosh, it was horrible. There's no way I would ever wear that. It sounds terrible. So understand, a hearing aid is only as good as it is programmed. Hearing aids come to us raw. There is nothing in any single brand. So when somebody says to you, and you read online, oh, this brand is this percentage, and this brand is these many stars and all of that, right? It does not matter. You're not, anybody that rates a hearing aid is not rating the sound out of a hearing aid. It's rating the person that put the sound in the hearing aid. So a hearing aid can be 5 different people can have 5 different outputs on what they experience, what that is. So that's a thing too. So if you are having problems and you're not getting that problem fixed, find somebody who's going to fix your problem. It's fixable. It's fixable. And if it's not fixable, there's a reason. So the chart that they show you on the top of your test, the red and the blue things, and do you know that that's all that they talk about, right? Did they ever talk about the numbers on the bottom? So your speech understanding is the most important thing on that part. You have a part that says word recognition, WR on the bottom of that. What that is the most important part of the test. This is how well you, as an individual, can understand and process speech. Not always will you hear everything. It depends on what your ability is to process it. And that's part of the test. And that's one of the things that before you get hearing aids needs to be gone over. Because this is your realistic expectation. So if you're coming in at 80%, remember I told you that you will lose your ability to process. So you've worn hearing aids, you just come in to get hearing aids. Right now you're sitting as best as it can get. You're at 100%. Now, that's with hearing aids, not without hearing aids. So with hearing aids, you're able to hear 100%. And usually that's the way it is when you first get your hearing aids. So then, we're going to do the bad thing and only wear them hearing aids when I want to wear those hearing aids. So my brain is bouncing all over the place, not getting it and not keeping it and holding on it. So you come to see me back in 4 years. Oh, my hearing aids up there, they just don't work, and they haven't been working for a long time. I look back, I haven't seen you in 2 years. So everything that has happened, now I'm going to give you a new hearing test because it's definitely time for a new hearing test. A new hearing test should be done every 2 years. If you have a decline in hearing, it needs to be done every year. But giving that hearing test, now I'm going to give you a hearing test. You was 100%. Now you're 80%. The reason why you're 80% is because you didn't do what I told you to and maintain it at that minimum of 8 hours a day every day. You will lose the ability to process, and in the matter of literally, I only opened it up in 2019. I have 3 people in front of me. I had to look them in their face and tell them they will never ever hear or process another word again in their lives. It's a true statement. If you do not use it, you will lose it. This man, the last man was 62 years old. He'll never hear another word. The only way he could ever do it is to get a cochlear implant. And that'll cost you $65,000 for 1 year. Serious. People do not understand, and people are not being told what is going to happen if I don't. Everybody, and you see everybody complaining about the hearing aids. Well, they're complaining because nobody's telling them this is what you have to do to maintain it. Because then once you lose that process, the guess game is over. You're already missing it. It's done, right? Also,
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
Anyone in here, I wasn't told, and I have a great woman who works with me. Anyone in here told you have to wear them 8 hours a day? You
Yeah,
were? Was
absolutely.
it her? Did she tell you?
No, but my audiologist said you don't wear them 10 to 12 hours a day. Your
Yeah.
brain is gonna stop processing.
Yep.
Well.
So the minimum is 8 hours. So the goal with this is, if you wear your hearing aids a minimum of 8 hours a day, I will guarantee you're gonna wear them all day, every day. So that is our goal, minimum, in order to keep you stimulated and keep your ability to process it. So if you do what you're supposed to do, if these hearing aids are programmed properly, guess what? You stay right 100% the rest of your life.
Really?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Wow.
If you don't use it, you will lose it every single day. Now understand, if you don't feel good, you're laying in bed, don't put your hearing aids in, you don't feel good. You will not feel good. You will not hear good if you don't feel good. So if you don't feel good, you're not going to hear good. If the sun is shining, you're going to hear better than if it's raining. There is so many little things about hearing that a lot of people don't realize. So what some of the first things that we lose in our hearing is our footsteps. We lose the sound of our clothing. We lose writing on a piece of paper. We lose all of these sounds. Them are the first things we get back. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, when you first get your hearing aid, you're going to be like, I don't want to wear it. Why? Because if I'm hearing all of these sounds coming in, and I don't want to hear them, I only want to hear the speech. A sound is a sound is a sound. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. And your brain will separate them sounds and separate that noise to that speech. It'll get to the point to where it'll automatically set backwards again. It will set you back to the point to where them noises aren't up forefront anymore. So the brain will actually acclimate back to the way you hear and separate them sounds again. If you do what you're supposed to do.
You were gonna talk about tinnitus.
Oh yes, so tinnitus. So tinnitus. 90% of people with hearing loss have tinnitus, 90%. Tinnitus is something that happens in the brain, it's not in your ears. You hear it. Most people, you will ask, do you hear that sound? It's not, nobody else hears it but you. It's a sound that's in the brain, and you hear it because it's within the skull. Okay? So the sound stays within. Literally our organ of hearing is right here. So everything, when we do tinnitus, so if we have somebody that has very bad tinnitus, we will use a tinnitus blocker. So while you're wearing your hearing aids, I have had people have tinnitus and have tinnitus bad, but they don't want to trade one sound for another sound. So rather than hearing your ears ring, we put this shh sound over top of it. So 9 times out of 10, people don't want to exchange one sound for another sound to get rid of the sound. So hearing aids over time actually do it by themselves. So you give your hearing aids in about 7 years wearing hearing aids, you won't have tinnitus. It's just something that gradually goes away because you're actually giving your brain that signal across that noise that it's making, and it gets rid of it all on its own over time. So what we're doing is the tinnitus is due to the hearing loss, and all we're doing now is rubbing that sound back over top of that tinnitus and eventually getting rid of it altogether.
Are you saying that eventually wearing your hearing aids 8 to 12 hours a day?
Yes.
After about 7 years,
Yep.
the tinnitus goes away?
Yes, ma'am. If they're programmed properly, you're wearing them properly, absolutely. I've seen it
And
happen.
you don't need to use a mask, or does using the mask?
So I'm gonna tell you, the best time to do anything with your tinnitus is in quiet. Okay, so you would so when you're wearing your hearing aids, do you hear your tinnitus?
Yes.
You do. Is it loud? Is it over top, has it ever interfered with anything, with your speaking or anything like that?
I'm gonna try and answer this as best as I can.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's annoying, and other times it's in the background, and it's lesser.
Okay,
I always have it.
okay. So, do you have a tinnitus program?
It's-
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Resound.
Okay, so when you get into them areas, like first thing in the morning, when you're quiet, maybe having your coffee, or anytime you're in your quiet time that you just want to sit, that's the time to run your tinnitus. So when you're running your tinnitus blocker, you have the ability, especially in the resound, to take that tinnitus up and down. So where are you running that? So if your tinnitus is coming in, and this is your tinnitus, and you're hearing your tinnitus, the tinnitus blocker, the white noise that they're giving you, do you just barely hear it? Do you hear your tinnitus loud? Are you running it?
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Because I can make different sounds and noises.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can also run white,
Yep, pink.
brown,
Yep,
pink,
yep.
So the only one I really need is the one that's not on mine. The color, whatever color it is. Lavender,
Pink.
one of those two.
Okay.
Is the one I really need, and it's not on my hearing aids.
Okay, so a sound is a sound is a sound.
Right, but I can
Okay.
mimic it,
Okay.
and when I do, then I don't hear anything. If I can mimic the sound by, a few little crickets and some rain and some hissing.
Yes.
I can make a combination of what it sounds like, then it goes away. But I have to play it.
Yeah. So you
I mean,
have
like, the whole day, I have to play it.
Yeah.
When I stop, then I hear it.
Correct. So this is what's happening. Okay. So when you do it, when you run it, so if your tinnitus is buzzing here, your tinnitus blocker, that sound that you lay over top of that noise, you should just barely be able to hear that tinnitus, the ringing of your tinnitus, not the blocker. You should barely. So then, this is how it goes away. So you're sitting there, don't move it, keep it at that spot, always. Sit still, listen, close your eyes when you're listening for your tinnitus, because that's the best way to do it. So close your eyes and sit there and listen for it. When you just barely hear it, run it until you just don't hear it at all. Once you don't hear it at all, you take your tinnitus blocker down just a hair, listen. I want to just barely hear my tinnitus. So over time, what you're doing is, if this is your tinnitus, this is the sound laying over top of the tinnitus, what you're doing is you're making this sound lower. So you got to lower this one to barely hear it. It will automatically, and that's how you stop tinnitus out, is you,
That would be nice.
yes, what you do. So barely hear it, run it over top of it, barely hear it. 4 months down the road, listen, I don't hear it anymore, I'm gonna drop my tinnitus sound down just a step to where I barely hear it. And listen again in 4 months, is it still there? If it's still there, leave it. Keep going until you don't hear it, drop it, and you are eliminating your tinnitus. So then, let's say for instance that we are 3 years down the road, okay, and you keep doing this. So 3 years down the road, understand your tinnitus is not as loud as it was 3 years prior to, because we've stamping. Okay? So it's something that is literally, your brain is rewired during this process. And that's exactly what you're doing with the hearing aids, is you're putting that sound back over top of that empty sound that's not there, that tinnitus is producing. So that's what's happening. You're just laying that sound over and stamping out completely. And you will get rid of it. It's a good feeling.
Learn something?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's all about knowing. So understand that. It's all about knowing what's going on.
What is the sound of tinnitus?
Tinnitus can be a ringing sound. It can be a clicking sound. It can be a rushing water sound. It can be so many different sounds. It is inside the head, and you think that it's out here, literally, but it's not. Nobody else hears it. It's inside the head. It's in the brain, literally. Most of the time, it's hearing loss.
Yeah, for me, it's two dentist drills right here.
Yeah. Yeah, constantly. Yeah.
Mine's a higher pitch. but
Really
it's
high
okay.
pitch.
Yeah. So tinnitus comes in a lot of different forms and fashion. It's a pitch thing. So that's what it's all about. It's that pitch of where it's coming in.
What I'm coming up against is, I'm laying in bed and laying on my side of my head,
Yeah.
and it's almost like you're hearing your heartbeat go, shoo, shoo, shoo.
So that's,
That's not it.
But, well. just-
yes, it is. Absolutely it is. That's called, that is tinnitus. So there is a tinnitus that sounds like the heartbeat, okay?
And I can lay there,
Yes. Yes, correct.
I get that sometimes.
Yeah. So, so do you get any other sound in that? Do you feel like you have a hearing loss?
no, not lost, what I'm saying is, I can hear that going, and I can, in my mind, I can make it disappear, I'm saying I'll make it disappear, it'll just stop.
It'll stop. You won't make it disappear. You can't make it disappear. I can't. You can't think the sound away.
Maybe it's his blood pressure.
That's an awesome thing.
I have really low blood pressure and I get sometimes.
Yeah.
But it dissipates.
Yeah.
But I also stick an earbud in and listen to season 1 of Downton Abbey all night
Yes.
long. You know, in my ear so that I don't have to.
Go ahead.
I have a rather profound hearing loss,
Okay.
and I've found over the years that if I get up the first thing in the morning and put my hearing aids in, I am more awake and more alert the rest of the day. I don't know why.
That is 100% true statement. So you can't start your life in quiet, or morning time in quiet, right? You're waking up, your body's waking up. And do you know that's the best thing you can do? Do you know you hear the best in the morning than you do at night?
Oh.
And I don't care if you have a hearing loss or you don't have a hearing loss, and tell your children to do this too. At nighttime, I want you to sit, whether you have a loss or not, sit in front of that TV just before you go to bed. Turn that TV to a volume that's nice and comfortable for you to hear nice and clearly. Shut the TV off. I want you to wake up the next morning. I want you to sit in that same chair, and I want you to turn that TV on. Now I want you to see how low you can go and how you can still hear it. You'll go probably about 5 or 7 clicks down and still be able to hear that volume. Understand, our bodies are tired at night. All of our bodies, our ears, our eyes, everything is tired at night. We always thirst for more volume on that TV. Never think there's anything wrong with turning your volume up at night. Everybody does it.
One little, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She's fussed at me, I'm gonna wear my hearing aid until I see Jesus. But I feel like I should take it out when I mow, because it's
You
such a
must take it
loud.
out. So understand, just because you have a hearing loss doesn't mean you can't produce more.
Right.
We have hearing.
Loud,
You can produce
activity,
more.
get rid of it, and then put it back.
FYI, run a vacuum cleaner, you'll get a hearing loss.
So take it out even when I do that.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So anything constant, even a vacuum cleaner will give you a hearing loss. Understand, any constant all the time.
So I just recently took a long airplane ride.
Yes.
And the first thing I did was take them out because airplane noise is so
Yeah.
obnoxious anyway.
Yeah.
And then I put in my noise canceling earbuds.
Okay.
And listen to music. But what about when you're doing air travel on that sort of thing?
I love this question. Okay. Anytime I don't want to hear the outside world, I'm gonna turn my phone on. And I am going to take those little styrofoam roll-up things and I'm gonna keep my hearing aid on and I'm gonna stick them in there with it. And I'm gonna hear everything through my phone and literally nothing out here. Nothing. That's the way I travel.
So you use the
Styrofoam little throwaway pieces, put them in with the hearing aid.
leaving the hearing aid in.
Yeah. Beautiful. You don't hear the sound of the engines, you don't hear the plane, period.
But what are you hearing?
I'm hearing what's coming through my phone, whether it's an audio book, whether it's music, whatever I'm listening
So
to.
what about when the pilot says we're gonna crash, get ready?
I don't wanna know that, I don't wanna know. I'm gonna turn my hearing aids off.
That'll be your cue.
I will go down in glory.
Can you explain when you say you put these styrofoam things in here?
Yeah, you know the little things that we used to get back in the day from hearing protection to hear us if we're around any loud noise? Yeah, the earplugs, the little styrofoam things we roll up and stick in our ears. Yeah, yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, right along with the hearing aid. It just shuts off. Pardon?
You're implying that the hearing aid works with the phone.
Yeah, most of them do, most all of them do.
They're Bluetooth now.
Yeah, yeah. Everything works, pretty much everything works with Bluetooth now. Pretty awesome.
Do you have business cards?
I do. And I'm gonna go over one more thing.
Sure. Now, so I have to tell you, there's two reasons Kim is here. The first reason is I had a meeting with her this past week or whatever, and I've known Kim for a very long time, but she was so passionate about providing education. And when she came and spoke here at the group, I was not here. I did not know what she conveyed, and I said, Kim, what you're saying is so powerful. I need for my peeps at Breathmatters to be refreshed in some of these very important things. But there's another huge reason, but I'm gonna let you finish before I share that.
Okay, thank you. So there's this, I want you to realize, when you buy hearing aids, this is one of the most important things to understand. I am going to have you guys pass this around. Oh, and yes. So this picture is gonna show you about hearing aids. So each one of these lines across the board is a hearing aid, one hearing aid. We have 5 different lines which are giving us 5 different levels and prices on hearing aids. This is what I want you to understand. When you walk into a place to get hearing aids, you make sure something like this gets laid out in front of you. You make sure you're able to see the prices on the hearing aids. Hearing aids, the price of this top of the line hearing aid will go anywhere from $6,000 to $14,000 per set of hearing aids, okay? So if somebody throws out a price of $7,000, well, what if that person's top of the line is $14,000? That means your $7,000 is in the middle of the chart, and you're paying $7,000, and in your mind, you're buying a top of the line hearing aid. But because they didn't show you what level you got, you don't know what you got. So always understand what level you are buying and purchasing. The prices vary. Nobody's the same, so make sure you understand the level. When you're looking at the 2 pieces in the middle here, these 2 lines that say conversation and crowds, and conversation and noise are the two places that is the most difficult for hearing impaired people. If you look at the first three top, you have best, better, and good. So the 3, the 4, and the 5. The 3 is good, 4 is better, and 5 is best when it comes to background noise. So depending on how aggressive your hearing aids are for that, that's the level of technology you're buying. In order to hear good into those crowds, that's what you're getting. It's going to be either good, better, or the best. Okay? And that's it.
That's the different brands or?
It does not matter the brand. Understand the brand does not matter when it comes to hearing aids. The brands that are given stars is not off of that brand. It's off of the person that programmed the hearing aid, because they come to us raw.
So see, that's something I didn't know. She shared that with me and I'm like, cool. So see, you gotta realize these things are not regulated. They're not regulated. So what happens is someone like herself can charge whatever price they
You
want.
need to talk.
So the only reason, when she was telling me her average charge for hearing aids, I'm like, is that all?
I see a question.
Yes.
Question for you.
Yes.
I had moderate hearing loss. And last time I go once a year and have the hearing tests and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
My word recognition is apparently good, but boy, I have trouble with that, to be honest with you. But anyway, I asked about.
So wait a minute, let me back that up. So you have problems with that. What do you mean that you have problems with what?
Yeah.
So
when I
word
do
recognition.
the test, post, and I say post,
Yes, yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
The hearing test, the actual test in the booth, I do fairly well on, but for day-to-day hearing, I don't do as well. So I should be wearing my hearing aids, but you can tell I'm not. Because I'm staring at everybody's mouth when you're talking, and that's why I'm tired at nighttime. I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
But last time I was there, I asked about the over-the-counter hearing aid. I know, but.
It's okay though. Everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to know this. Please listen.
I'm told that I'm on the cusp of those working for me. And I'm curious about the Apple, I don't know what they're, because I don't
Buds,
have.
iBuds,
Yeah,
they're
I don't
Apple
have them,
iBuds.
but the things that people have in their ears all the time sticking out.
Yes,
little white
iBuds.
They're supposed to be equivalent to these over-the-counter hearing aids now.
Of course, because they're amplifiers, sweetheart.
Right, but I
So-
wanted to know.
Let me explain something to you.
And I'm
When
perfectly
you-
fine paying $5,000 for
Oh,
my
yes,
hearing aids.
absolutely.
But
I'm not.
if, I
You,
know.
okay, so understand what you're doing. So you're talking about a over-the-counter hearing aid, okay? There's no such thing. There's an over-the-counter amplifier that FDA labeled a hearing aid back in 2022, and October 17th of 22, FDA said, guess what? The whole public is doing nothing but screaming at us that we need to pay for hearing aids. Well, let's make it affordable for the public. So FDA says, we're gonna take off. You can't buy no amplifiers, can you? No. Everybody go out to try to buy an amplifier? You can't buy them, can you? They're labeled hearing aids. There's nothing labeled amplifiers anymore. Amplifiers went out on 22. On 17th of October, you walked into that store and it said an amplifier. You walked in on the 18th, it was the same package, but labeled a hearing aid with the same product inside of it. Now, you could have walked in there before FDA did that and bought that for $30. Now you're not gonna spend anything less than $100.
I was just curious.
Yep, that's an amplifier.
About the,
If you do not get a hearing test, you do not get a hearing aid. A hearing aid can only help you if it knows what your hearing loss is. And yours is different than yours is yours is yours is yours. So one hearing aid that goes out of the over the counter, the sound will come in the microphone, come out the speaker. What you're listening to right now is an amplifier. That's me talking to you. This is what an amplifier sounds like. It's volume. So it's nowhere near quality, and it's only clear because I got a nice boisterous voice. Go ahead, honey.
What does wax have to do with hearing loss?
Wax can impact it, okay? Wax can impact your ear and get to the point to where you will feel completely plugged onto this side. All it takes is this little piece as far as a pin needle to go through that wax and you'll hear normal. It's that much of a difference between hearing and not hearing. It's just literally a pinhole. But once it's full, it's full. So when we wear hearing aids, 9 times out of 10, if you have a lot of wax, one or two things is gonna happen. It's gonna constantly push it in, but guess what? When you pull it back out, it's gonna come out all in that, right? So that's how most of the time they clean their hearing aids, they're clean. But that's how it's done. Your hearing aids needs to be cleaned out for their wax, so. And that's something I do, I watch that. I don't remove it, but I watch it.
So what I want to do with this, I really wanted you to hear the passion and the desire that Kim has to educate the public. And I chose for her to take some moments to refresh you if you weren't here the last time she spoke, or maybe to provide some new education for you to maybe make some better choices. But here is the real reason I wanted her to be here. So just give me a moment. So in the board, we have people that make donations, and we just could not figure out how we were getting, please excuse me, honesty is one of my big things. We couldn't figure out how these donations were hitting us and who they were coming from. Not until Eric one time, he goes, well, Joan, I know exactly who they're coming from. And I went, I know, it's like, how do we have that disconnect? Well, what you gotta realize is the way that structure was set up on the website was a long time ago. And when Don was here, we had sort of that connection. Well, then we have people changes, and long story short, we just didn't know where they were coming from. And you've heard me say during several monthly meetings, does anybody know of anybody that could have made a very nice contribution to Breathmatters? And the board was real upset because it was like, you know, we've got to thank this person. We have to thank this person for a huge donation. I got cold chills on me. So, long story short, Eric told us exactly who it came from, and I went, oh my goodness, I really feel like I have mud in my face. So what I wanted to do was to publicly thank Kim Felder for a fabulous donation. And let me tell you why the timing is so impeccable. We used to have the Franklin Foundation, and we were a recipient of that. And basically what that did was it took care of our annual expenses with Breathmatters, and it was just the biggest gift ever. Well, then that didn't happen, and then it did happen, and it didn't happen, or it didn't happen, it didn't happen. So I want to thank him publicly for filling that huge void. It was such a wonderful gift, and we thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Really, I didn't. I'm a giver. I give my time. I love to help people. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
So, I love it that she chooses to be an educator like myself. And giving of yourself to help others is a huge thing. So, thanks again, and Tracy and Billy, thank you so much.
Oh, we just get to run it. We're not giving it to you all. We just get the privilege of running the program.
But guess what? The education is powerful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now, with that being said, I know we're a little over, but it's okay. It's important. The board says it's very important. If you need education on something,
tell us what it is that you really want education on. Let us try our best to get the best speaker. If you say, you know what, I like socials, that's why we have a social in the summertime, and we have a social at Christmas, because that was a request. Or if you want one of these meetings just to be time to come in here and talk and chat, we will do whatever. Tell us what's important to you, because this is your meeting. This is your time. What does it need to look like for you? So you can let any board member know what that looks like. Please, we want to do our very best to help you, okay?
And we're always looking for new ideas for topics. So
Yes.
there's a
And
topic.
I want to tell you all, you guys are all brothers and sisters in the same situation.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no better person to help each other.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys are in this group. And and you guys are powerful people. We can see it all in you. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Imagine what we'll be when we wear our hearing aid.
Then there's gonna be a lot more socials.